What up, my fellow YouTube nerds? It's me here, Daniel, again, back from my little hiatus of a couple weeks. Just took a little time to think about what my next YouTube video is going to be since Game of Thrones ended. Really, I've been contemplating it because I knew I was going to do a new show, but I also knew I had to choose it wisely because it had to be a good show. It had to be had a lot of depth to it. It had to just be really enticing. So I thought about it hard. I had like 4 or 5 on my list and I narrowed it down, and finally I came to Black Mirror. Don't know if everyone loves it, but I surely do. It's one of my favorite shows, at least top 5, not top 3. It's not a lot of episodes to them, but they're very well made, very well acted, just from beginning to end. Just very well done. So to start this whole video and this whole series off with it, I'm going to be doing kind of in-depth analysis of every episode since there's 23 of them. But for this first episode, or this first video, I'm going to be doing every episode ranked for me. And every episode ranked, that's how I'm going to review every episode, from my least favorite to my most favorite. But that being said, don't think any of these episodes are that bad. A lot of them are just not up to par with everything else, just because there's so many well-made episodes. So without further ado, don't really want to talk too much about my plans. I just want to get into the list. So 23 episodes, or mini-series, however you want to call it, and from least to most. All right, without further ado, here we go. All right, so my least favorite out of all of them would be the Waldo moment. That's in season 3, very political. I mean, I'm into politics, but that one was just a little too silly. Even though in America we have our own kind of silly politics going on right now, that one was just a little bit much, and the ending wasn't that great to really seal a deal for me. The next episode for me would be Archangel, directed by Jodie Foster. Didn't love the acting in it. Didn't love the whole direction of the whole episode. It was good. I get where they were going with it. A mother always being scared, doesn't know what to do, turns to technology. I get it, but just wasn't a fan of the whole episode as just a whole. I mean, it was good, not great. Could have been a lot more they could have explored with it, with the whole overwatching of kids kind of thing, but they really just kept it to one mom and one daughter. But I mean, it was still good. Next one is going to be Metalhead, shot in all black and white, very nicely made. Didn't like the bleak overtone too much. The ending wasn't as not uplifting, but just more enticing at the end than I thought it was going to be. I get it. The stuffed animal represented hope, just kind of giving that to the kid, but still wasn't for me. Okay. Next episode would be Man Against Fire. Just kind of a boring episode for me. I mean, still very well made. A very interesting episode, but not something I was totally enamored by. I mean, the ending was kind of different, but still had a lot to desire on that one. Next one would be of season 5. My first one of season 5 would be Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2. That one was interesting to me. I mean, I really thought it was going to get more intense as it went on, but it actually got less intense, which doled me out. It was a good episode. The acting was really well made, but everything else toward it was kind of just a little dull. There could have just been more to the whole. Next one I would say would be Hidden in the Nation. even though I really like this episode, it does have a lot of flaws, from runtime to ending to explanation to just a lot of things. But there's a lot of things they did well. I like the acting, I like the technology, I like the storyline of the whole thing. But everything has its flaws sometimes. Next one would be Crocodile. I liked Crocodile, but there were just so much weirdness to it. I get the title, I get the reasoning sometime behind her, but I just don't get the whole way it proceeds itself. It's a lot to go on. So my next one that I would say I liked, but it's just not up there for me, would be Bandersnatch. That was a whole thing in its own. It was supposed to be this interactive movie, which was really cool. Came out in Christmas, liked it. A little frustrated with not knowing the ins and outs. I mean, I'm a problem solver, so maybe that's just my kind of own quirk, that it was hard for me to know if I really did everything in my power to do what I needed to after spending like 3 or 4 hours on that thing. I'm not a gamer. I'm a filmographer at this point. Next one I would say is Hang the DJ. I love it. The technology and it's cool. Didn't even see the ending coming, but still a very good episode because of just the twists and the turns in it and just the feels. Man, it was definitely different than most of them. It had a better outcome and it didn't. I like that. Next episode I really liked would be Striking Vipers. That's another season 5 episode. I believe it's the 2nd episode in it, and it was good. I mean, the depth of it, the ending of how you were so contemplated on if that's a good ending or not, really teaches me, like, or just shows me that everyone chooses their own happiness. It's subjective. You can't tell someone if they're happy or not. They have to choose what they're happy with. So I liked it a lot. I love the acting. The Falcon will never be the same to me anymore. But he did really impeccable in there. Very, very well done. So next one after that, give me a second, would be Playtest. Ooh, how I liked me some Playtest. One of the first gaming one that they had in there, because Striking Vipers would be the next game episode they had in there, but this one was just nuts. It was like a scary movie / game / show. Very well done, and the fact that it only lasts like 0.2 seconds is just crazier. Like, the grand scheme of the episode only lasted 0.2 seconds. Very just nuts to me. Okay, so next one I would think. Give me a second, I have my list going on. My next one would be Right Back. That one really tugged the heartstrings for me. It's a very contemplative episode because you don't really know what you would do in it. I mean, she was just trying to live, and in the end, the thing that killed her lover was killing her. I mean, he loved technology, he loved social media, and he loved to interact with things that weren't real, and that almost ended up killing her, which is just crazier to me. Next one, I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with me because this is like everyone's favorite, would be San Junipero. Liked it a lot. A little gushy for me, a little too cheesy, like a 80s rom-com kind of thing, but I guess that's what they're going for, and even the ending's kind of bleak to me. Still loved it. Still loved the outfits, the design, the dialogue, the acting. Very well done. I know I keep saying dialogue and acting and ending a lot, but you know what? Those are the things I look for in a show or movie, for that fact. I look for the big things in it. So if you can't check off those marks, you're not going to get the sub marks either. So San Junipero very much loved it. Next one would be the national anthem. Ooh, would you fuck a pig? I don't think I would fuck a pig. Sorry. Not for anyone else. I'm so sorry. I'd rather just be hated. I'd rather be hated in the nation than the national anthem. Sorry. But, I mean, he took one for the team, and the team hated him for it. Could never do that. Crazy episode. Way to start it off. Not really like the other episodes because not any new technology, but still one of the best written episodes. So next would be USS Callister. As a Star Trek fan, that one's really good. But the creepiness of him just really, really does it for me. He was really the main character. Sorry, I forget his name right now, but really a creep, and I wasn't expecting it. Next one for me would be Black Museum. Very much loved it. Love the connectivity to it. I love the Easter eggs and every little in-universe ties it has in it, and the sub-stories it had to it. So Black Museum, very good episode. Next episode would be 50 Million Merits. Very weird episode. I believe it's the second overall episode, and man, that one's crazy. The ending is probably the best part to it, but the thought process that goes along with the whole episode, really much liked it. Like, what would you do if you had the choice of being real or being famous? That's what it contemplates at the end of the day. Next episode would be Smithereens, the last episode of season 5. Very much like this episode. It really, just like the other episodes, and a lot of different technology, this one is supposed to come toward you very abrupt and in your face, because it's supposed to show that social media has already encapsulated us, gotten us past the point of no return, really has controlled our lives at some point. And wasn't as big a fan of the ending, the bleak ending, not the bleak, but the obscure ending that there was. But at the same time, there was really no good way to end it. I feel like there's so much bad that you could end it. So, very crazy ending was the only way to go. One second, guys. Gotta have my good old beer. Delicious and nutritious. So Smithereens was very good. One of my faves. The next one, getting down to my top 4, would be Shut Up and Dance. Oh man. Because the way you feel so sorry for that kid the whole way through. You're like, why this kid? This could be anyone. And in the end, you're like, oh shoot, I gotta hate this person. That's literally a table turner. It kind of was a little too... I had to watch like 2 or 3 times in a row just to be like, oh man. Touche. Next one after that would be White Bear. That's the first ever episode I started with, and just like Shut Up and Dance, you weren't expecting the ending. And the lead up to it was even crazier. The hope it gives you, how enticed you are with the whole episode, just the way it leads up to something you wouldn't even expect. Just very well done, and the storyline, very well done. Next would be Nosedive. Nosedive was a very one of the best episodes I think I've ever had the pleasure of watching in any show. Just so much to it. The way she's so trapped from an app, and then she's freed when she's in jail, and then the way she just panders for likes and love and points and whatever. She tries so hard and she gets it at some point, and then it's still not enough. Just like, it's almost like money or currency. It's just never enough. Just enough is never enough kind of thing. Really makes you think. And then last but not least, my favorite episode of them all, White Christmas. John Hamm, you are the man. That whole episode, it's almost like Black Museum before Black Museum, and it really just I mean, I'm still speechless from it. It's a very crazy episode. You're not expecting any of it, from beginning to end to middle to subplots to acting to just the way they control the whole dialogue throughout the whole thing. It's so good. I really couldn't have asked for a better episode just in general in life. It's just impeccable. If you haven't seen any Black Mirror episode ever, start with that one and then work your way after that, because everything after that is just not as good, but they're all amazing in their own right. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys listening to my long list of BS, aka my list of Black Mirror episodes ranked from worst to best. Like I said, every episode is amazing, so please watch it. It's a great series, and my next coming up video should be either a Black Mirror episode recap, a Toy Story 4 review of the movie, or a review of Spider-Man Far From Home. Either way, I'm going to have a video up within the next week, good to go, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I enjoy making them. You guys have been amazing. I've been Daniel. You stay awesome. Peace!